Hey everybody, welcome back to the dumbest modeling channel in the North Atlantic, Pit Stain Hobbies. We're back on the beautiful Hachette Collections U96 U-Boat. This is pack 3, so we've got kits. They call them kits, not stages, whatever they are. 9 through 12. Yes, so we're gonna crack on into these. Links below to go check out the U-Boat and subscribe if you like. This is a very, very cool and very different part work. It's much like, I guess, some of the other ones that were like a lot of plastic modeling involved, whereas like gluing little bits together and doing like more plastic bits on the inside. Like Titanic and Bismarck definitely, like, so it's right in line with those. There's a lot of actual like model assembly of plastic parts off of sprues and things like that. So yeah, it's not just just screw everything together type of model. Because some modelers look down on partwork builders and they go, "Oh, you're just assemblers." Now this is definitely a model, most definitely. Just to touch on a couple things. Obviously, Hachette links below. My Amazon links below. There'll be a link down to my U96build.com, which is the instructional website for my buddy Todd, who's also building the U96, and he's a bit ahead of me. He was an eager beaver. But I'd like to touch on a couple things here. These are 2 of the torpedo tubes, okay? And they're blown out by the light. But as you can see, it's a solid tubular structure. So it's really nice. There's a very minimal seam here. These are slide molded. So when they mold this part, the slide comes together, okay? It comes together like this. So 2 mold hats. But then a third part of the mold comes down through here, and then they inject the plastic around it. And that is slide molding, and that is a 3-dimensional molding process. Well, 3-dimensional is in, there's 3 moving parts of the mold, possibly 4. Very advanced molding system, and it's a very nice part. And one of these is marked 1 and 3. This one's marked, let me get the angle of the, there we go. You can see the 3. You can just make it out. They're white parts with a lot of bright LED lighting above me. So here's 1. Here's tube 1 and here's tube 3. That is important to remember. I'm going to put tube 1 here, tube 3 here. Let's scroll through some of these instructions here. Yes, the throat clearing is complimentary. Just like that warm room temperature bottle of water at your Holiday Inn Express when you check in. Complimentary warm water. That's great. Who doesn't love a bottle of warm spring water in their room? More of these, safety, health and safety things. And that's that. We're just going to close up this little clamshell and shove it in the garbage can. So we want to be interested in these. These are the M, N, O, P, and Q parts. And we're gonna start putting things together here. So I'm gonna snip these off and keep them in order, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so let's zoom in a bit here. We got these springs cut out. Everything's in order that they were on the sprue, and there's some rivets on the back of this, and the front is smooth. And you're not going to see the front. You're going to see the back. What you want to do is fit these into place. There's a notch that they fit into. You can see the notch right there. And we're gonna fit these into place like so. Okay, so the rivets are facing back. I know it's a little hard to see with a little light, but once we have them squeezed into place nice and tight and they fit good, we're going to take a little bit of our Tamiya extra thin cement, because this is just regular plastic, and I'm going to go around the front side here. And our friend capillary action, because this glue is so thin, it literally seeps into the seam around here, and we're going to glue that riveted, bolted, whatever it is, flange Come on, focus. There we go. I'm going to glue that into place. Get that glued in. The second slot on the opposite side. Okay, fine. And then we've got another of the 2 rivet and a half. Okay, so now we got to put these other 2 halves onto torpedo tube 3. Same exact system. I'll just do that. I'll be right back. All right. So those are all glued into place. Looking quite nice. And we cut these 2 little round end caps off of here. And let's see how these fit in. There's a couple of notches and a couple of tabs. And it looks like they should just go on like so. But there's also a little joint down here. And I need to know which way I need this. Let me get torpedo tube 1. Okay, you got to really be conscious. Torpedo tube 1, the 1 is right there. Kind of hard to see. It's good that it's subtle, but it's also a pain in the butt because you're not going to see it when you're looking at your model. So we want to have this little, come on, focus. This little section here up, and then we want this little notch right here to be up, and we're gonna twist it on there, and now it's in place. So we're gonna glue that in with some more extra thin, and then we're gonna do the same thing with this one and line the top up with this on torpedo tube 3. So just one sec, please. Alrighty, well, we've got our little tube ends glued on there. We're going to take these handles, and these are right and left, R and L. We're going to snip off the 2 R's with our fancy God hand nippers, because they leave almost no nubs. No nubs, we hate nubs. Nubs are terrible. We don't like nubs on this channel. Then on this part sprue, we want these 2 round bits here. We're going to snip those off. And snipped off. Fair enough. All right. Oh dear. And then we're going to scroll through Todd's instructions. Okay. So these will only fit on one way, I believe. Or will they fit on 2 ways? They will. Oh! Oh, God. Oh, God. Part fell. Part fell. Emergency. 1 second, please. Crisis averted. I somehow found it right away. Okay. So there is a... Yeah, that goes that way fine. And it doesn't go that way. Okay. It doesn't fit quite right there. But if you turn it around, it fits perfect there. So we're going to glue these together, I think. Let's see. Yes, we're going to glue these together. I'm going to get that other one done also. And I'll be right back. Okay. We've got these 2 little guys built. And what we're going to do now is right here, we got this little guy sticking out. And we want... hold on. 1 moment, please. We want the lever to be close to the tube. So the lever down near the tube. And then that little fella sitting on there. Like that. Just like that. That's going to go in there. Like so. And we're going to glue those in place on both torpedo tubes. And I will be right back. Okay. Well, we've got these little fellas mounted up. And you can see a hole there. Or a hole there. we've got to put a couple of little bits in. So we're gonna snip out this and this. These two little tiny pipes. And put them down. Then we are going to assemble them into here. Oh, hold on. One moment, please. Just like that. Well, oh, it didn't fall on the floor at least. But we got to get these in the holes and point them straight backwards. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. 1 sec, please. Okay. So we're going to take this part, this part of the sprue, and yeah, fantastic. Okay, perfect. That, and we want that, and come on, come on. There we go. Take that and this. So these three, and we're gonna merge them together. So, okay, now let's get a little extra thin and on these posts and right there, and we're gonna stick this sucker on here. Okay. So you could use CA glue. I use the Tamiya extra thin. It's kind of my preferred glue. And then we're going to cap. Yeah, we're going to cap this. So a little bit here and a little bit here, and nice. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hold that down for a bit. And we want torpedo tube 1. We're gonna, oh my God. Okay. So torpedo tube 1. Oh, right there. Oh. There we go. Oh, okay. Nope. This way. Oh, fits much better. Yes, there we go. So we're gonna just get a little Tamiya cement in there. So a lot of the partworks, they're like CA glue. CA glue, crazy glue. I'm kinda no. I'm like, nope, just Tamiya cement. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, it's a real model. It is a real model. So there we go. Okay. Oh man, I am so tired. My lisp is coming out. Ugh. So when I get tired, my lisp kinda, yeah, it dials up a bit. But Either way, BRB. Alrighty, well, that's on there. So now we got to put this on there, and this will fit just like that. Hold on one moment. There we go. And we're gonna glue that in with more Tamiya, and I'll be right back. Okie dokie. So she's all glued together and dried now. That's nice. We got to take these two little pipes, and we got to put them into the little holes. Let's see here. Does that go there? So getting the orientation of these just right, and there's also a little extra bit of sprue on that. Wiggly little fellas, I'll say. They are wiggly. Does that look right? That doesn't look right. Why doesn't that look right? I'm not quite sure. Hold on a second. Alrighty, and we're back. This is glued together. And we got to get these two little guys glued on here. So they're a little fiddly, but there's a little hole there you can see. You want to get the pipe into that little hole, and then there's a tiny notch back here. You want to get her in there, and just get a little dab of glue down. You know, to me, extra thin versus crazy glue on specifically this model, and generally on plastic parts. To me, extra thin will melt paint on pre-painted bits, so obviously keep that in mind. But it doesn't sort of instantly set everything rock hard into place. It melts the glue together. For most of you know this, I'm sorry. But for the few that don't, it also allows you to move things later on. So I had one of these that was a little crooked, but I glued them on with extra thin. All you do is you add a little more extra thin the next day even, and it'll remelt the plastic a little, and you could manipulate the parts some more. So that's a fun little feature of it. Besides it completely stripping paint off of plastic if you're not careful. So obviously keep that in mind. You don't want to do that. And it does take a little longer to set up, obviously, than crazy glue or CA glue. But for plastic to plastic parts, I really prefer using this over crazy glue. Also, it doesn't fog up anything in the vicinity, which I haven't had much of a problem with that with partwork kits, with fogging parts up. But yeah, this does not create the haze of doom. Okay, so we got our two pipes in place there. There's my educational block for the video. We gotta take this. Look at that. Look at that. Pitstain tried to teach people things about stuff like I know anything. I'm a total moron. But occasionally, some small nugget of, I guess, wisdom, if you want to call it that. Then we got the part with the notches in the back. Sorry for the camera shaking. My workbench used to be way more stable, I think. Either that or I'm just getting heavier and leaning on it more. That's always possible. And we'll get a little on here. Just get the 4 pins in like that. There we go. I'm going to touch that up with a little bit of paint marker. Shameless plug for these things. Not that seriously, I don't make a dime off of these things. But, oh, these are so good. I love these. This was the best set of things I've bought in a long time as far as paint goes. And it has some German colors in it. And it has RLM 66, which is a dark gray. So we can, let's see here. Hold on. One moment, please. RLM 66, where is it? O2 Grau. Maybe it's on the top tray. Let me see here. Dark Wait a second. Which one's RCM 025? No, that's more of a blue. I'll find something to touch that up with. I'll just have to use some regular paint probably. But yeah, these markers are fantastic. These are going to come into play later in the build for sure. We're going to be painting details, and these are going to be fantastic for that. If you want to get a set, I'll have a link down below to Michigan Toy Soldier, and I do have a discount code there because I'm now apparently famous enough to have my own discount code at a hobby shop. It is Pitstain2024. If you're watching this video in 2025, who knows? Maybe it'll be 2025. Check into her video. All right, back to the show, so to speak. I'll put that away. Oh, my arms are so tired. Oh, I just flew in from New York. Oh, bump. All right, let's get these little... I am such an idiot. Okay, so we want this bracket with this little protrusion to go over the front of these two tanks here. And the one without the protrusion to go over the back of the tanks. So let me just get a tiny bit of glue just on the posts here. Ah! Come on, Butterfingers. There we go. A little more of this glue. This is there we go. Okay, we're gonna let those glue down. Let me put a little bit right there. Yeah, a little bit on the ends. Really touch the white torpedo tubes. Okay, just gonna let that set up for a minute. I'll be right back. Alrighty, well those are glued down. Okay, good. And then this little protrusion here, we're gonna glue this little round tubey guy to it, and get a little of our little magical melty juice on there. Well, the names I come up with for things. The hot glue gun is the hot snot gun. Any lubrication is shmoo. And now this is the magical melty stuff. So yeah, there we go. Okay, I gotta start. Maybe I get a t-shirt made or a sticker with a bottle of Timmy Extras and then be like, magical melty stuff. Please vote in the comments below if you think I should make some swag that says magical melty stuff on it. I think that would be a hearty har. Okay. Now this little box of things here, it has two pins. It goes down in these two holes here, obviously. Obviously. Some people don't like that. They don't like hearing that word. Some people also take issue with a thumbs up on a chat or something. I take issue with anybody on an iPhone that I'm texting from my Android that hits the like button, or the love button, or the heart button. Oh God, oh man, that drives me nuts because just quotes your text back to you again. And I'm like, oh geez, but they're so used to it. We had to put my wife back on the iPhone a couple years back because she was sick and tired of being on an Android for the same damn reason probably, and she wouldn't admit it. But get this little pipe and these little holes. Do I need my eyeballs on? What in the hell? There we go. So that little guy in there, that little guy there. Yeah, it's like, man, the LASIK's great. I could drive without glasses now or without contacts, but it's screwed up. My most favorite thing to do in the world is build models without me having magnifiers on. Like, damned if you do, damned if you don't, But I couldn't, The opposite problem is way worse, though, like not being able to see enough to get around your house without crashing into things. So I went for the safety aspect. And we take this little tiny little thing. It's got its little peg. I went for the safety aspect and said, I'd rather be able to see when I'm driving a 5,000-pound SUV at 70 miles an hour. Then, I got it on backwards. That's the nice thing see, if you put something on backwards, crazy glue, it might already be too late. But with this, come on, focus. Here we go. But with this, you have some time. You have a little bit of time to move things. Actually, quite a lot of time. All right, let's get these. Ooh, look at this. This looks like Greeblies from the Millennium Falcon. Look at this. Some fun stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see here. I'm going to take pipe 3. I'm going to use our little bougie godhand nippers so as we don't have a lot of cleanup to do. Let me see. We don't want to nip too far. We want to nip it to right there. So you want to make sure you don't cut that off, that little stub. And then we are going to take this pipe and put the 3 tubes up near the front, okay, and the rest near the back. So let's get a little magic melty liquid. I'm going to keep up with that magic melty. I'm going to try to stay on brand with that. That's a pretty fun little term. There we go. Like, you know, start a trend, you know? Like Shmoo's growing it. Well, I didn't start the Shmoo term. That was a like a tool kind of review, like pretty much a tool review channel. AVE in Canada, I think. He coined the Shmoo. I don't know if it was him who coined it or someone he heard it from, but I like it. So we have, there we go. It's so hard to, got to angle everything just so, because the bright color of the plastic just blows out on camera. Now we need to take the 5 pipe. This is the bottom one here. Get that going. Okay. And that will go up here into this little recess. So let me get that glued into place and I will be right back, everybody. Alrighty. So that's glued into place. Do not glue this down. Let it pop up a little. I put a little glue here and obviously in that hole. Now this one we got to put down. This is pipe number 1 and it's got a curve to it. So obviously that you want to make sure is properly indexed to your torpedo tube. Oh, and it's got, okay, yeah, it's got notches and tabs to align it. And it wants to sit like right next to that. So let's rotate it into place. Is that flush? Yeah. And also with this glue, it wicks in, so you can put the part in place and then you can put some glue on it to get it where you want it to stay. And there we go. Okay, so just like that, and that should end up pretty close to the other tube, not under it. There we go. There, they should be like right next to each other. Come on. There we go. Whew, there's a lot of little parts on this thing. Holy moly. Now we need tube 4. Man. All these tubes. I'm going to, so the next 3 kits of parts after this, 2 of them are torpedoes and 1 of them is another set of these torpedo tubes. So when we get to that, we are going to make a torpedo and then we are going to let's see, how does this go? Okay. Nope. Okay. How does this want to go in? I'm so confused. It's my standard state of confusion. Oh, okay. All right. There's this, there's a little pin at the front, and it goes in that little hole there. So that's where we want that. And then wherever the other end of this thing lands is where we want that. All right. Okay, let me get that glued down right there. One sec. All right. I wish there was some sort of filter I can put on my camera to like make the white show up better. That's why they make panel liner and washes to make details pop on white parts. We're going to take our final tube and we're going to put it into that little hole there and put the little pin into that block up there. And we're just going to glue that down. And I think we're almost done with the torpedo tubes. Finally. 1 second, please. All right. So I put my screwdriver in here because these pipes are a little tweaked, I guess. So I just shoved the screwdriver in there to straighten them out a little bit. Last part, almost dropped it. This tiny little lever, and if you can see, got that little notch on the back of it. So what we're going to do is put it right here. And we're going to point the handle up. Oh my God. So small. So tiny. Oh. It's a small little lever, but it's on there now. And that, my friends, is the end of Kit 9. This video is probably already 1,000,000 hours long. And next is Kit 10. So let's grab those parts. Torpedoes. And some hull panel. That's always fun. All right. Oh, let's just move that up there to dry. Get this in frame like you're an actual semi-professional YouTuber. And we got this nice little metal hull panel. Not going to hit any harder. I don't want my knuckles to get bruised. And, oh, rockets just appeared. Hello. And we got a text message. Let's see. Okay. Wife's going to pickleball, and she opened the door to the basement garage area, and Rocket's wondering. Oh, he's under me. Oh, dear. Oh, you cute little puppy. Hello, big guy. 60-pound puppy. Okay, let me go get the bow, and we'll probably, let's see, what are we doing first here? We're going to do some painting. So here's the deal. The propellers are pre-painted in a kind of a bronzy color. It's quite nice, actually. I can't leave anything alone sometimes, and also I saw Todd do it, so now I need to do it. And the torpedoes, let's see. So, and these fins at the back here, we're going to paint, oh, come on, focus. These fins we're going to paint bronze as well, because it'll just look cool, I think. I'm going to Google a couple of images of World War II U-boat torpedoes, but I'll be right back. Just give me a few. 1 sec. All right, so here's the plan. We're going to build the torpedo. Then I'm going to paint the tail. Now, I did some obvious in-depth research and Googled images of torpedoes from German U-boats from World War II. None of them had a fully brass tail. At least it wasn't exposed brass. And the propellers that I saw, specifically from the U505 display at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, its propellers were white. So I don't know what level of restoration that U-boat went through, but the props were white, the torpedo was gray. Sometimes the nose was not gray. The nose could have been it was like a greenish color almost. So who knows anymore. It's a mystery. So basically, these are very simple things to assemble. They have some pins, there's a couple screw holes, and we got to assemble the propeller. So what we're going to do is we get two of these little shafts, and what we need to do is, if you look at these, this one's a little chubbier, and this one's a little smaller. Okay, and they're basically the same on both sides. So what we're going to do is put those together with the small one on top. Take one of these, oh my god, microscopic metal shafts and shove it through both of these propellers. And I feel like that's wrong. Nope, that doesn't look right. Let me flip that around again. Don't! I'm so confused. How does this thing supposed to look? Okay. So we got the big one on the bottom there. And a little one on top. There we go. So like that. Yes. And you want the shaft to be basically in the center there. We're going to set it into this side of the torpedo with the pins because it's got the little notch there. And it sets right into place there. All right, we're then going to take the other half of the torpedo and let's get those two holes to align it at the back. It's got the little pins. Okay. We're going to do that. Let's get a couple of AP screws in here, I guess. Todd did a bunch of custom painting on his, which I'm probably going to do the same thing. All right. So let's get... I'm assuming we got to put screws in here. Let's see. Where's my screwdriver? Let's see what these... Yeah. It's the little PH0. And these are the AP screws, I believe. Are we not putting... Oh, there we go. Oh, no, we're not. I'm a dumbass. Okay. Regroup. We don't put screws in there. Those are actually mounting points to hang them on something or somewhere like that. Let's do this. Let's get that in there. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna get a little magic melty fluid onto those three posts. Then we will clamshell this sucker together. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna use a couple of these nice little miniature DeWalt clamps. Just not much pressure, very little pressure. And then I'm going to get a little glue on these two rear posts that are poking through. And we'll get a little clampy action right there. Perfect. Okay. And then I'm just going to mask off the tail of this thing and spray it with some bronze paint because it'll just look cool sticking out of the torpedo tube and when you see them stowed away. So I'm gonna get these torpedoes built. I'm gonna build all the torpedoes. I'm just building every torpedo. It's gonna be a build-a-thon of torpedoes. Be right back, everybody. Okay, so we're back with painted torpedoes. Got the tail there, painted up in AK bronze. Where is it? Here it is. Oh, sorry, brass. Close enough. It sprayed nicely, actually, that paint. That was pretty good. So we've got these painted, and I did some digging, and on the U995, which is, I believe, a Type 7C U-boat as well, that's on display in Germany, the tails are bronzy, brassy kind of color going on there. So I did that. And then we're going to take our hull panel here, and we've got to put this fella on here, and this fella on here. And we got to get 1, 2, 3, 4 AM screws in there. Don't forget to dip in the oil. And we're going to get those screwed in, and we'll be right back. Okay, we've got our hull out here. We're already getting to be a little long. So remember, it was floppy there before. What we're going to do is we're going to take this panel. It's got a tab on the bottom. So you just want to get that placed in there. All right, and yeah, right on those two studs, there and there. And we're gonna put a couple of CP screws in here and here. All right, 1 second, 1 moment, please. Well, that right there stiffened everything up quite a bit. Looks good. Yeah, really, really nice paint. Lines up well. Very, very minimal panel gaps. Like, those are nice and tight. There's a tiny bit there, but otherwise, you know, the more stuff we add to this and the more we bolt onto it, the more it's going to these models pull themselves together quite a bit, actually. So that's a good sign that it's already fitting pretty nice. Optional adjusting the forward hydroplane motor. What is this here? I was playing around with the fitment. Oh, one of the tubes. Oh, so my buddy Todd is saying to flip this motor upside over so that the circuit board points down, because this could come in contact with the torpedo tubes. Interesting. All right, well, we'll probably have to do that real quick. Give me a sec, and I'll get that flipped upside down. 1 moment, please. Okay, well, we flipped our motor over here for the bow planes, or hydroplanes, whatever you want to. I forget the terminology they use. I think Todd says hydroplanes, but I was pretty sure they were bow planes, but I could be wrong. Next thing is more of the same. We've got to do kit 11, another set of torpedo tubes. Mirror image of these, nice and easy. And we're going to just get those built up real quick and be right back. Alrighty, stay tuned. All right, so our other tube is built. And I glued in one torpedo hatch there, and I shoved one of our torpedoes in, and that's fun. And we got to get this other hatch on. Now, this is torpedo tube number 3. So we're going to take hatch number 3 off of the parts tree. There we go. And we want to glue this one in open. That's what I want to do. I want to like glue it in open. So I might actually resort to crazy glue for this one. I'm not sure. But we're going to glue it right here, wide open. And then we're going to shove this torpedo in there, because I got the tail painted. The other two, the other 3 that are going in the tubes, I didn't paint the tail because I'm like, why bother? But yeah, let me get out some CA glue, and I'll be right back. Alrighty. Well, our second torpedo tube is done. There's our first. We're going to slide a couple of torpedoes in here. Now, we did have to sand down the edge of these fins a bit, just a little bit, to get them to go in there properly. And we're just going to put them in like that. So when those bay doors open, when those torpedo bay doors open, you're going to see those torpedo tips there. Pretty cool. And next, that's it for 11. We're going to go to kit 12, where we already took out the torpedoes. And we've got our hull panel here. Now, I did paint also, just so you know, I did paint those little propellers with the same color, with that brass paint. Get those. This parts pack closed up a little. Break out our screws. There we go. And it's going to be second verse, same as the first. Let's get the whole panel like that. I'm going to take this first one, and that goes right there. The second one is going to go just like that, and then 4 AM screws to hold those in. Just 1 second. Okay, so that panel's screwed in place, nice and easy. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to get the lip inside, get it seated, lined up, and then a CP screw here and here. So, 1 moment, please. Okay, so there she is, all screwed in, and we're all done with pack 3. So it's coming along nicely. I mean, it's the entire outer hull so far, other than maybe part of the conning tower, is all metal, which is nice. A lot of plastic on the inside, but that's fine. This thing's going to be 4.5 feet long. You want to be able to lift it without having a hernia. You know, not getting any younger. These partworks are really heavy. But either way, it's looking beautiful. So, Hachette, good job. Thumbs up. Very nice so far. Very happy with it. We have many more parts to go. And this is more of an involved model build. For, let's say, someone who hasn't gotten into a partwork yet, who's into World War II subject matter, and you're like, yeah, but I'm a scale mod. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of plastic gluing together and things, like a regular scale model, and options to paint things, and there'll be way more opportunities to paint stuff as we progress with this build. There's so many little details that are visible when you pop off the magnetic outer panels that you'll want to, like, maybe detail some things in there or weather something or whatever. So this is going to be a really interesting and unique type of partwork build that we're doing here. Very exciting. So either way, thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. Adios, everybody.